Hey everyone, it is Content Friday and I am so excited to be here with you. I have some awesome things to share with you today. This is a very special series that is going to be happening till the end of the month. Every Friday, I'm going to be sharing a new content tip. I am excited because it is podcast month. So NaPodPoMo is happening right now. And so Gritty Birds is back. And the content you see in this video is also going to be released as a podcast. And you can go ahead and check that out. And I'm going to be telling you how I'm going to be structuring NaPodPoMo all month. Also, this is the last day that you can sign up for my workshop, and I really hope that you guys can come. Let's just kind of take a quick look and you can see what we're working on over there. This is my music. This is the song you're listening to. That is Don't Call It Love. And we're going to go here. So I'm Gritty Birds, and this is part of the 5-week video challenge over at Podcaster Support Group. The workshop is happening tomorrow morning, so it's 4 weeks, awesome content, and I really want to have you there. Some of the things that we're going through in this video and what I'm talking about are part of the talks that I did at She Podcast Live and also for Podcasters Kit. And you can go ahead and get a lot of more in-depth one-on-one personal attention along with all the templates that I use to be able to work with the 10 shows that I edit, including my narrative podcast. And this month, I'm going to be doing the NaPodPoMo, which is 30 days of content, including a few different episodes. I'm going to be doing different formats every single day. On Tuesdays, it's going to be a little bit closer to the regular podcast formula, but I also am noticing that I love that I'm being able to share things in fantastic, awesome ways. So if you want to go ahead and subscribe, that's where we're going to go on over. And let's just take a minute and chat. Okay, so I'm just going to turn down the volume a little bit over here now that we've got our intro going. So, all right. So today we are discussing and continuing the conversation that I started last week. And you can go ahead and check out that video I released on Thursdays, but I decided to move things till Friday for this awesome challenge that we're doing. And what we talked about was some of our basic concepts for creating content. And those 3 things that we went through are that you need to listen like you eat. We want to talk like a flashlight, and we want to show it and don't say it. I'm not going to go too much into that because you can go back and watch that other video that's here on my YouTube feed. You can also go ahead and find that on my website in the article that is also going to have the podcast linked. This week, we're going to be moving into another topic that I think is really, really huge, that's been helpful for me as a creator and over the years as a musician, as well as a writing teacher, and that has been a huge, huge skill set and piece of everything that I've been doing for a really long time. And that is morning pages. Morning pages are one of the most important tools that you have as a creator, and it's really one of those things that allows you to grow in a totally new way. When I taught Montessori Elementary, one of the very first thing that the kids had to do in the morning was they had out their journals and they would write the day up and they would see what time the sun was rising and setting, and they always had a prompt. And those were prompts that the kids came up with, that I came up with during our weekly writing workshops. And in those talks, each age had a different thing. So the 3rd graders had 1 paragraph they had to write. The 4th graders had 2 paragraphs, and the 6th years had 3 paragraphs. And it could be anything that they write about. One of the really huge, important pieces of that was that I did not edit those writings that the kids had, because what it was is about using your creativity and just putting something down on paper and really getting those ideas out there. I might sometimes use those in different ways, but it was such a huge, huge, huge thing. As an artist, as a musician, I've also used these kinds of concepts. Like every day I spend just a few minutes on my piano, just messing around, just creating essentially a large palette to be able to build. So as a part of last week's where we were mentioning about observing and having all those extra pieces as we're noticing the things around us, we also then can practice this with something called sensorial writing. So sensorial writing is something that I first heard about and started doing in some writing workshops, but also with my friend Christopher Worth, an incredible musician. And he mentioned that he would sit around and actually have a very structured conversation with his paper, just away from media, just sitting there and writing for a half an hour to an hour. And there's a really amazing book called Writing Better Lyrics that has some great exercises about that. And that one is written by Pat Pattison. And there's some really interesting ones called object writing is another way that you can call that. And that's how they describe it. Morning Pages is a concept that you probably heard it from the Artist's Way, which is an incredible book. Let me show a picture of it. So this is the Artist Way, and this is an incredible course that goes over a few weeks. 2 years ago, during my last big content month, November is the month that I like to plan and make really interesting, exciting ideas and build them. That was the month that I did my Kickstarter, my first Kickstarter almost 7 years ago. It was when I came up with the concept and really pushed myself to make a record. Again, it was when I've started most of my workshops at the Siren Nation pieces. It's really huge. But all of that really came down to having a foundation to be able to practice and build and have more information so that when it comes down to the time that I really need to have planning writing, my brain has already created some of that. I'm like, oh yeah, I have this idea. I had it during my writing. Okay, how do we do this, right? Let's get into the how of it. This is not sitting around and analyzing it. This could as simply possibly be that you sit there and write, I'm writing. Using prompts is really nice. I love the program Day One. That's something that I like because it has writing prompts already right directly into it. I've used the page 750 words. That is a subscription site that will force you to write 750 words every day. And that's a really great about half an hour exercise for just writing. I think sensorial writing is a fantastic way to start off with this because I think we can often get so caught up in our head, but we forget about the sensation and pieces of us around in our bodies. All these things are able to spice up the life of our writing in our stories as we are gathering more information, as we're practicing getting that out there. And that way, when we head to the next step, and that's what we're going to be talking about next week, is how we're going to be brainstorming and how we're going to be going into starting to structure that content. And over the next few weeks, we're going to have 5 minutes just touching into all of that. And I can't wait to share that with you. So that's it for today. Again, go ahead. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would love to have you here. You can also subscribe to my newsletter and get all of these things every Friday. I'm also going to be putting out a newsletter on this upcoming Monday, as we are now going to be having the Neopod Pomo really rolling, and I'm really stoked for that. This next week and a half, I'm also going to be releasing a very interesting video because I am the face of RME podcasting, and that is finally coming out. You can actually go to their website right now. Speaking of that, Chris Curran, his podcast engineering school is part of that bundle, and you can actually see right here, this is the mic that's a part of the bundle, and also I've been using the RME Babyface interface for years, and if you are at NAMM this year, you can come and see me. I'm stoked. I will be there as the podcasting expert and showing you all about Total Mix FX and talking to you about recording and all my other favorite piece besides talking about content. So I can't wait to see you guys on this video feed next Friday for the next installment of the Video Week Challenge and part of Napod Pomo. All right, catch you guys later. Bye.